this one. It's called The Word. And there's one bit for you to do, one tiny bit for you to do later on. Don't let your daddy on the dance floor. Don't let him rise to the beat. When the music plays, if he starts to sway, fasten him firm to his seat. Hang on to his hand through the main door. Never let him loose at a disco. The hall will hush and you're gonna blush. Redder than tomatoes in Tesco. Best not to shout, but the word is out, and the word is sad. That's your word, okay, if you'd like to do that. Best not to shout, but the word is out, and the word is sad. Ooh, there's a lot of mums over this side giving it some welly. Don't let your daddy on the dance floor. He'll start by tapping his knees. Then if he gets the itch and he starts to twitch, say, Dad, here, please. You don't know what you've let yourself in for. The moment your dad's up and dancing, if he's heading for the floor, get him out of that door. Back to Match of the Day and Alan Hansen. Best not to shout. But the word is out, and the word is sad. Don't let your daddy on the dance floor. Watch him the moment he zigzags in among the mums, all wiggling their hips, standing in a ring around their handbags. There'll be trouble, riots and uproar as the whole place goes into a panic. He needs strict supervision. Or there'll be a collision, like the iceberg meeting the Titanic. Best not to shout, but the word is out, and the word is sad. So don't let your daddy on that dance floor. Just don't let him get into the groove. If just his fingers click, you must act dead quick. Say, out of here, now, Dad, move. He can cause more chaos than a world war. So you see, you must hang on to your dad. But if he does break free, you can take it from me that everybody's daddy's just as bad. Best not to shout, but the word is out, and the word is sad. Sounded more like furious, but anyway. Can I just check there are no Geordies in the room? Any Geordies? That's all right then. I can do my crappy Newcastle accent and nobody's going to challenge me. I went up to Newcastle to do some work a good while back, and I was reading to some children in the classroom. And there was a little girl at the front, and every time I read a poem, she put her hand up. And the teacher was flapping, saying, put your hand down, put your hand down. He doesn't want questions. The man does not want questions. Anyway, up we went. And in the end I gave in. I said, what did you want to ask? She said, no, I want to tell you something. I said, well, what do you want to tell me? She said, I can play the saxophone. I thought, oh, great. I said, oh, great, can you? And I must have said it in that kind of half-patronising tone that adults sometimes have with children when they don't really believe what they're telling them. So I finished the classroom session, and I'm just walking out the door, and she comes to the door and she says, can you know? I can play the saxophone. I said, oh, that's great. Well, maybe I'll hear you play it one day. And off I went. So I'm in this school for 2 or 3 days. So the next day comes, and I'm in the staff room having a morning cup of tea, and there's a knock on the door. And there were other teachers in, so I didn't bother answering because I'm not a teacher, so it was nothing to do with me. Anyway, the teacher goes and came back, and the teacher said, somebody wants you. So I went, and there's this girl. And she's got this, like, black case. And I can't remember yesterday's incident. I'm thinking about today. And she says, I've brought me saxophone in like you said I had to. And then it comes back to me, and I think, I don't remember saying you had to, but anyway. So I said, oh, well, what are you going to do with it? She said, I'm going to play it for you. I said, oh, great, that'll be very nice at 8:30 in the morning. I said, let's go to a faraway classroom and you can play me a little bit. So we set off, and down the corridor I started to feel a bit sorry for her and a bit fed up with myself for being a bit rude to her and not taking her seriously. And I made a big mistake. We're chatting away, and I said, "Can you play this really well?" And she said, "Oh, yes." And I said, "Oh, great. Well, if you play it really well, I'll write you a poem." She said, "Oh, will you?" And I knew she was going to be good. And I'm thinking, you idiot. You stupid man. Why do I have committed to writing stuff for kids like that? Anyway, we go down to the classroom, and she takes it out, and sure enough, she can play really well. She played fantastically. She said, "You won't forget my poem, will you?" I said, No. But then I went off to teach, work with classes. And it gets the last session, and I'd forgotten all about her. And I'm thinking, I've got a train to catch to bring me down from Newcastle, all that way into York, across the Pennines and home. And I'm working away, and suddenly at the classroom door, I see a face, only the face does this. It's kind of there, and then it isn't there. And it's this kid. And she's trying to peer through the window, and she's too small to look through it, so she peers through it, and I hear a knock on the door, and it's too late to hide. And she comes in, and she says to the teacher, "Is David Horner here?" The teacher said, "Yes, he's over there, cowering behind that desk. Why, what do you want?" She said, "I've brought him something." And she'd been to the office, and she'd blagged an envelope, got the secretary to write a home address on it, and a free first-class stamp. And she said, "I've brought you an envelope so when you send my poem, it won't get lost." And I'm thinking, this kid deserves a poem after all. So I wrote her this, and it's got a bit for you to join in. I'd like you to, if you will. It just goes, "When Lucy plays her saxophone." And I suppose I'll dedicate it to these nice musicians down here, really, because I'm not musical in the slightest, but here's a poem about music. So if you do that bit, it comes at top and bottom of the verse. So this was for her. I posted it to her many years ago, and she must have liked it because she sent me a letter back and she said, "Dear David, I liked your poem very much. I have fastened it on my bedroom wall next to my Take That poster." Now, come on, that's fame. So let's try it. When Lucy plays, I can't hear you. When Lucy plays her sax, washing dries, stars rise. Nelson on his column cries. Even the butterflies when Lucy plays her saxophone. When Lucy plays her saxophone, the party raves, Santa shaves, goalies make spectacular saves. Even the microwaves when Lucy plays her saxophone. Good, lovely noise. When Lucy plays her saxophone, zips, zip, paint strips, spring lamb skip. Schools take kids on special trips, even the paper clips. When Lucy plays her saxophone, when Lucy plays her saxophone, pigs prance, dodos dance, an alien from Pluto lands, even the underpants when Lucy plays her saxophone. When Lucy plays her saxophone, hippos hop, the queen bee bops, and all the city's traffic. Very good. Even the lollipops when Lucy plays her saxophone. When Lucy plays her saxophone, the striker scores, an iceberg thaws, cats tap their paws and birds their claws. The temperature soars, no one's indoors. Generals call a halt to wars. From Bangalore to Baltimore, from Warsaw round to Wichita, crowds roar, they all want more. Even the man in the moon applauds. Even the long dead dinosaurs. Last time when Lucy